I would like to look into some theoretical foundations around entrepreneurial marketing, on building your USP, on changing your perspective from the inside into the outside. So let's take an example and look at these processes a little more, how you also should balance your own resources and the market perspective. And you can use some theoretical foundations to do that. The example is Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Is Ben & Jerry's ice cream unique? Is it a unique ice cream, unique flavor, whatever? Let's look at the story more closely. Ben & Jerry's started in the 70s when these guys started selling ice cream in Vermont at a gas station. And the ice cream was really popular, but I mean, if you look at the ice cream market in the 70s and the 80s, even right now, the market is saturated. So they were selling and selling, but who else needs another ice cream producer worldwide? To be honest, nobody needs it. There's enough ice cream producers out there. So, on the other hand, they thought, our ice cream is very popular, people like it, so how do we build something unique? How can we get our unique position in the world and balance our resources with the unique position? So they thought, why don't we do it differently, a totally different approach, and we start giving back to the community. And this is what they started in Vermont. They gave shares to the community in the very start. So the community was into selling ice cream, into building a large ice cream company. And by saying that, giving back to the community, they used more elements of giving back to the community, and people started to get to know Ben & Jerry's ice cream, not because of the flavor or because the ice cream is so unique, but because if you buy ice cream from Ben & Jerry's, you give something back to the community. For example, against, and this is what it should show when it falls down here, against global warming. Ben & Jerry's is very, very engaged against global warming. And every time you buy an ice cream from Ben & Jerry's, you also do something against global warming. And this is how they got known. So this is their uniqueness in the market, and this is only because they adapted the resources accordingly in the community, based in the community, and by using the resources to give back to the community. And this is the balance every entrepreneur has to find between the entrepreneur's own resources and the market perspective on the entrepreneur. And if you want to put it more theoretically, between the resource-based view and the so-called market-based view. So what are resource and market-based view? Well, first of all, the resource-based view puts an emphasis on resources and capability and says the competitive advantage of companies lies in their unique resources and capabilities. And those resources and capabilities, or resources especially, have four characteristics. They are valuable, they are rare, they are inimitable, and they are non-substitutable. So if you have a resource combination that fits to the four characteristics, you might have a competitive advantage. But it has to fit to the market-based view, because only if customers buy based on the resources you are able to provide, based on the products you are able to produce with those resources, you can be successful. So the market-based view has an emphasis on the role of market conditions in developing a strategy for the firm. It's a market-oriented perspective. It's an outside-in perspective. So you look to the company from the outside. When taking Ben & Jerry's or taking InnoShape, you start with a market-based view. So InnoShape got to know that people are only buying the products because of speed. So these were the main reasons why they sold products. This is what built the USP. Having said that, they have to design their resources with the 4 characteristics accordingly in order to be able to maintain the market position. And this is how you have to find the balance between your resources or the resource-based view and the market-based view. If you're able to find that, then you're potentially very successful as an entrepreneur. However, everybody of us knows market change. So nowadays we do not only discuss resources, but we discuss capabilities, and not only capabilities, we actually discuss dynamic capabilities. Because what we are saying is, if market changed, resources might change, so it might be necessary that your resources or capabilities based on the resources are dynamic, you can adapt to the changes. And this is the next generation of resource-based view, so to say. And this is really the mediating variable between entrepreneurial resources and the performance, because it shows you how you have to change your resources and based on the resources, your capabilities, in order to maintain your position over time, that out of your resource position you can ideally tackle the market in the way the market needs to be tackled in terms of why people buy and so on. So a description of the dynamic capabilities is the support of the firm to adapt to changes in the market, technologies, and competitive strategy. And you have to do that because you want to constantly develop and maintain your own position. You have to continuously invest into your resources and thus invest in your capabilities. But that's the second step for entrepreneurs. So theoretically, if you look at what I said before is, and you have many, many examples where this is really important, entrepreneurs start with their own vision. And their own vision comes out of their own resources. It's an idea they have, it's a capability they have, it's a tech capability, whatever. They throw that vision into the market, they learn outside in why people buy, and then they have to change the resources. And this is balancing market view and resource-based view. And when market change, you have to make it dynamic.